Hello and welcome everyone. And we start recording and also with the transcription. So be reminded of that. Well, as I mentioned, welcome everyone, whether you are joining us from morning, afternoon, or evening. Thank you for being here. We are thrilled to host this global gathering where we connect across time zones for a powerful 50-minute session together. We are delighted to see so many participants today. Please feel free to drop in the chat. We have two tabs. And in the chat, we would love to see where are you joining us from and how many places we are reaching. Hello, everyone. I see Angela there. Hello. Leaving some time you to place. Where are you connecting from? Italy, of course. Let's remind ourselves that the panel is distributed within different continents as well, countries, continent, and time zones. Michel and Jangar, Paola in Brindisi, Italy, Europe. We have Avishan in New York, USA, and I'm in Spain, Valencia. So many people, yeah, Valencia, Alicante as well, Mauritania, wow, fantastic. It's wonderful to see such a diverse group. Let me introduce myself. I'm Emilia Bertomeu. I'm Digital Solution Advisor at United Nations Global Service Center within the Office of Supply Chain Management in the Department of Operational Support. And I'll be guiding you through what promises to be an insightful and engaging event. We are joined by a fantastic panel of colleagues who have been instrumental in shaping and driving this program forward. It's bringing a unique perspective and a depth of experience to the AI4All acceleration program in UNGSC. Let's go ahead with the presentation. We have Michel Bergeron. He's Chief Service of Geospatial Information and Telecommunication Technology at United Nations Global Service Center within the Office of Supply Chain Management in the Department of Operational Support. We have Jangar Mc Gill Richards. She's Chief Central Service at United Nations Global Service Center within the Office of Supply Chain Management in the Department of Operational Support. We have Paola Pinto, Conference and Learning Center Coordinator at United Nations Global Service Center within the Office of Supply Chain Management in the Department of Operational Support as well. And we are delighted also to have Avishan Bodjnoud. She's Chief Information Management Unit at the Department of Political and Peacebuilding Affairs and Department of Peace Operations. And this is me. I introduced myself already, and I'm a humble digital solution advisor, delighted and honored to be part of this program. Let me remind you that there is a tab of question and answers in case you have any questions. We will address as many as we can. And I like to begin and give the floor to Michel Bergeron. I'll stop sharing to explain how this program idea originated and developed to its current state. Please, Michel, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Emilia, for your opening remark and introduction. And good morning, good afternoon, and perhaps good evening to friends and colleagues from around the world. So let me say a few words on how AI4All came into birth at the UNGSC. The credit actually, or the inspiration for this program emerged from a presentation given by our colleague Avishan, who's with us here in the panel, a presentation delivered last fall in Valencia to the entire community of ICT leader within the UN Secretariat. She made it clear, during her presentation, and it came very clear to me that GenAI, specifically in this case, was something that was not accessible, to all. That the Secretariat had guidelines, had guardrails, for us to safely and securely use the tools and many, free tools, to start with at our disposal. So following that, inspiring, presentation, we took a step back and we realized that perhaps there's a way to bring GenAI to everybody's desktop or to all of our constituents at the UNGSC. So, and the name simply emerged from the AI4All. So the effort actually aimed at creating awareness, providing guidance on how to, basically making a basic use of AI in our work environment. First, actually to enable perhaps better data-driven decision, also enhancing productivity in different business unit. So this is where this program emerged, and of course, I rallied, Avishan, Jangar, who heads our administrative services, Paola, who's our coordinator when it comes to learning, and of course, Emilia, who's our technology specialist. And as we saw the importance of having a team being able to champion the effort. But what was has been amazing so far to me is the enthusiasm, that has emerged within our community. And I won't say too much there because the colleagues will expand on that. But we are 6 months into this initiative, and without having to break the bank when it comes to funding requirement, we've definitively put into motion what is a very important digital transformation initiative within our local ecosystem at the UNGSC. So really, to me, AI4All is really a transformative initiative that also connects very nicely with the UN 2.0. So that's my introduction. Emilia, back over to you.
Thank you, Michel, for sharing your inspiration and valuable insights into the program, which have clearly been carried forward under Jangar Mc Gill Richards' leadership. Jangar, the floor is yours, please.
Thank you, Emilia. Can you hear me clearly now?
Yes, I can.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much, colleagues. Good morning and good afternoon, and we welcome many of you for joining us today and to hear really about the vision and this special program that we launched a couple of years ago in UNGSC. When Michel presented the vision and the idea of the program, I think it was a no-brainer to fall behind it. I had been personally using generative AI, and it was really one of my personal goals, and it was exciting to see that we could possibly have the opportunity to actually implement it here at UNGSC. Initially, when we started brainstorming about the program with Avishan, and I remember sitting in building 135 here in Brindisi, and just the fireworks were going off between myself, Michel, Paola, Emilia, and Avishan. It was really exciting that the energy around this topic, and it became more than just about piloting tools. It really became an opportunity to influence and shift mindsets and how we work at UNGSC and how we serve. So from my perspective, Michel has covered a little bit of why we thought it was important to launch the program and also embrace generative AI. From my perspective, it was an opportunity to boost efficiency, especially when it comes to mundane, automated automating routine tasks. It also, for us, we thought it would give an opportunity for staff to also focus on more high impact work, as opposed to being sort of inundated with, the normal bureaucratic, routine administrative tasks. It perfectly aligned and supported the vision behind UN 2.0. I mean, when it comes to data innovation, digital foresight, and behavioral science, it just was, we were able to support those enablers behind UN 2.0, especially here in Brindisi, as well as in Valencia. The program was more than just theory, and many of us were, again, very excited about the opportunity to train staff, pilot use cases, and build this foundation at UNGSC, and also upskill our workforce. One of the important things that we thought about was this sort of igniting this desire for continuous learning, and also empowering staff at every level. Michel talked about the tools, the UN-approved tools being accessible to staff. I mean, we were looking at it being accessible to all staff at all levels, from administration to technical staff, and really positioning UNGSC as a contributor and equipping our staff to be future ready, which was extremely important to us, and also an opportunity to change the culture at UNGSC. We're very structured here, I think very reliable. We work with the field missions, but this was an opportunity also for some constructive innovation, which is always needed in any organization. So it provided an opportunity also for staff to experiment in a safe space, learn, fail, share best practices, potentially change the culture within UNGSC. Embracing the program, and also, I think, adapting to the program, and the enthusiasm behind it since we started has been amazing, across many services, across many units, across many sections. I mean, from different functional units, from HR to procurement to logistics and IT. It has really been exciting. And I think, during this critical time within the UN, I think any little thing that we can get to motivate staff and to excite staff, it's really, again, a no-brainer. We should implement it. So the team has been responsible for creating and developing weekly facilitated sessions. Kudos to Paula and her team for facilitating those. And, we've seen some of our staff utilize these UN-approved AI tools, from simple tasks to very complex tasks, whether if it's writing a professional email, summarizing documents, or even looking at data visualization. But the excitement is very infectious. And, one of our goals, Michel, myself, and the leadership in UNGSC, is that we want to assure that we're committing to nurturing this excitement and this curiosity. Lastly, before Emilia, I hand it back over to you, I think it's important to mention that, as I said before, the program was more than just piloting tools. When we were brainstorming, it's really an opportunity for for it to be seen as a strategic imperative. And it's not just the program. If we can have staff walk away and be empowered at every task or every initiative, every project, saying, how can I make this better? How can I make this faster? How can I make this smarter? How can I be smarter in completing this task? And I think that we have really succeeded in the objectives of the program, and I think we need to give ourselves a pat on the back. But we have a few months to go, and as Michel said, we have been at this for 6 months, and it's been a great ride so far, and we look forward to, I think, all the great things that the tools and the programs can provide to UNGSC. Thank you, Emilia, over to you.
Thank you, Jangar, for sharing insights on the cultural and strategic alignment. And as you mentioned, we are in the middle of the program, and I'd like to give the floor to Paola Pinto. She will walk us through the program structure and roadmap. Thank you, Paola.
Thank you, Emilia. Thank you very much for giving me the floor. And yes, as said, I'm very pleased to present the structure of the program. As when we designed the program, we really wanted to cater everybody, and we wanted to make sure that the knowledge and the learning was going to reach everybody in UNGSC. Therefore, the program was structured into 3 different streams. The first one is on capacity building, and is really addressed to everybody in UNGSC. The second stream is a testing effort on the UN-approved GenAI tools, which was addressed and is still addressed to a more restricted number of participants, specifically 40 participants. And then we had a third stream, which is more of a pilot in-house project, and Emilia will elaborate a little bit more on that, because that is really more pertinent to her area of expertise. Now, on the capacity building, I would say I will never really stop thanking Avishan for opening the program with her amazing workshop in January 2025. I would say a very good number of UNGSC staff members were let's say accepted to participate in the workshop. And during this effort, of course, they had the opportunity to familiarize with the tools and also with the regulatory framework. There was also kind of a commitment from participants to go back to their offices and cascade the knowledge to their team members in a peer-to-peer effort, and a way to transfer the knowledge to make sure we could reach as many people as possible. In addition, together with the team in the training office, we delivered a number of training sessions, and this I would say effort was closed by a webinar conducted by Emilia and Avishan. Result of that is that 75% of UNGSC population was reached by this effort, is now familiar with GenAI tool in a, I would say, a very democratizing effort. And we now know that everybody knows at least what it is. I mean, what are the tools that are available and how to use them. It was very interesting to see the enthusiasm and how people reacted, and when they found out how they could really use these tools to improve the way they operate, the way they work, and the performance overall. On the second stream, as said, there's a more limited number of people. There are 40 users that are still currently testing the UN-approved GenAI tools in order to understand how to use these tools to enhance productivity, streamline processes, and improve outputs. There is also a learning package that accompanies people in the learning and their ability to navigate these tools. And there are also surveys, case studies, and ad hoc projects. So it's a kind of complex journey that we are making all together. These three tools are basically accompanied by a communication effort, because and this was very important for us. It was important to have the communication team supporting us, to make sure that people were all, let's say, were all aware of what was going to happen, and they were always informed about all the initiatives, and also remained throughout the program very much engaged. And to finish with the structure of the program, we also have a community of practice that was started a few months ago. It has now reached almost 200 participants, and is very, very active. It's a very, I would say, very informal community where people share articles, share knowledge about GenAI, but also raise concerns and awareness around the topic. I would say from time to time we move to the philosophical realm and discuss philosophical topics around GenAI and how we can use it and what's next. It's a very interesting forum, because this is really giving us the chance to connect with each other, even people working in completely different fields and that maybe never speak to each other, and to know ourselves better, but also to build a very strong community that is all working on the same effort. With that said, I will now leave the floor to Emilia, our digital advisor, very much needed and critical in this effort, for her to say a few words about stream 3 of the program. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Paola, for this update. And well, as you were mentioning, stream 1 and stream 2, and in parallel is running also the stream 3 of the AI4All acceleration program. In UNGSC, this stream focuses on local prototyping and self-learning as well. We've seen great engagement in the self-learning exercises, and our local prototype is already showing promising results in improving digital workflows. And these efforts are helping us building a stronger foundation for AI adoption across our organization at UNGSC. And well, we plan to go for a capacity building period pretty soon, and we envision in providing support through the UN family in the future. And with this quick update in stream 3, as still prototype and ongoing, I like also to give the floor to our colleague Avishan Bodjnoud, who will explain to us about the training efforts during this program. Thank you, Avishan. The floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Emilia. Thank you, colleagues, for all your kind words. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all of you joining us today from different corners of the world. It's truly a pleasure to be part of this important session on AI4All acceleration program, and also to contribute to the broader momentum of the UN 2.0 week. I had a pleasure to contribute to this really important initiative, and I was able to deliver the 2-day AI training session in close consultation with Michel, Emilia, Paola, Jangar, and the full team in UNGSC who championed this initiative. So before I get into the content of the training, I wanted to reflect on what really AI literacy means for the UN peace and security pillar, and why is it essential to our collective mission. So last night, watching the heart-breaking footage from the escalating conflict in the Middle East, especially scenes from my hometown in Tehran, has been a stark reminder that now more than ever, we must stand with and enabling our colleagues who are serving on the front line of peace in the field missions across entities in the headquarters who are carrying forward the noble mission of humanity and hope. So the future of our work, whether in peacekeeping, a special political mission, or preventive diplomacy or peace building, will increasingly be shaped by our ability to understand, question, and co-create with AI technologies. And this is not about everyone becoming a data scientist. So rather, it's about building the culture of continuous learning, critical thinking, and of course, ethical awareness to engage with AI tools responsibly and effectively in our day-to-day work at the United Nations, so that we govern AI rather than having AI technologies govern us. So our foundation for this course was already in place. We have the longest standing SDSGB 2007-6, which is kind of the UN policy, and you can Google it, on information sensitivity, classification, and handling. And it remains still a cornerstone for data protection, especially as we consider the risk of using AI on sensitive operational and personal data. And now we have another policy, SDSGB 2024-3. Again, you can Google it, on data privacy. We are entering a new era, one that formalizes responsibilities across the UN Secretariat and sets a very clear path for secure, ethical digital engagement. So these policies are not just technical guidelines, they are enablers of trust and integrity in how we use AI and create an AI-ready culture within the United Nations. So that's why we've heavily focused on going through these policies, just reminding colleagues of the importance of the frameworks, the guardrails that we currently have in place vis-a-vis artificial intelligence. And of course, policies alone are not enough. We need people who are equipped, empowered, and that's where the AI literacy comes in. And during the AI4All training session in Valencia and Brindisi, we worked with colleagues across different teams, different sections. And what stood out most was the spirit of co-creation, I would say. So after discussing the AI ethics, the policies, we focused on real-life UN use cases by learning the foundations of prompt engineering. So as you all might know, you might have used ChatGPT, you might have used different tools to create text, image, video. A lot of different technologies are out there. And as you know, the foundation is prompt engineering, how to write a correct, concise prompt. So we heavily worked on that. We even used prompt to analyze and visualize data and create Python codes. And we also did some interesting GIS work using generative AI. But one thing that was important that we all collectively learned when these AI models hallucinate, meaning when they come up with the wrong information, when they make mistakes. And we also try to challenge some of these AI models and that was mainly to focus and train our colleagues on the importance of the concept keeping human in the loop. So every participant by the end of the session presented their project. And it was really fascinating for me to see what our colleagues came up with after seeing how AI can feed into their work to help support solving their problem. And that's what I really call AI literacy, is learning the technology to see where you can use it to help you solve your problem to be more efficient. So as we accelerate AI adoption using this excellent roadmap across the UN peace and security, we should keep in mind that true transformation doesn't happen through tools and technologies alone. It happens through trust, skills, and shared purpose, and building the UN 2.0 culture and mindset that we are talking about today. Thank you, Emilia, for giving me the floor, and all of you for your attention.
Thank you, Avishan, for leading our AI literacy and training efforts. Well, that's true. It's just the beginning. The momentum we've built together will carry us into the next phase of transformation. And I check question and answers. We have none at the moment. And I like to, well, make kind of an interview, peer interview. I'd like to ask you, Paola, what surprised you the most during the rollout of AI4All program?
Thank you, Emilia. Thank you very much for your question. And this is a very interesting question because I've been reflecting on that a lot. Leading the learning effort in UNGSC, from time to time, I face challenges because people are all busy with different things. So it's not always easy to convey enthusiasm for learning activities, right? This is something that's really surprised me, is that for this specific effort, so many people express enthusiasm and they really wanted to participate in our learning activities. It was the time for us to select the 40 pioneers, the test users, for the selected tools. People were really, contacting us every day to just check whether they were selected and express interest for that. And there was, of course, an opportunity for us to interact with many different people and to see and to feel the enthusiasm they had for the program. Also, I would say that even when, for those people that were more skeptical and, were kind of at the beginning criticizing the program, they were the ones that in the end, became more enthusiastic about it, especially when they found out how they could use these tools to make their life easier and to produce a better outcome. So overall, I would say, the enthusiasm and the sense of community that I've also found in the community of practice. Thank you.
Thank you, Paola. And I'd like to ask Avishan now, what's the biggest challenge you encountered during the program so far? Because we didn't finish. You are on mute, Avishan.
So sorry. Thank you very much, Emilia, and for that excellent question. And I want to acknowledge all the kind words in the chat. Really appreciate all of you and all your support. Thank you, everyone, for being here. So I would say one of the biggest challenges that we encountered was really keeping up with the pace of generative AI evolution. Every day there is something new, as you all know. So the technology is advancing so rapidly that by the time you try to finalize a training module, or just put together guardrails, there are new capabilities, there are new risks that are emerging. So that was, I would say, the biggest challenge. And we had to constantly adapt our material, not just to reflect the technological updates, but also to integrate evolving ethical consideration that are aligned with the UN's responsible AI framework. So I would say the challenge was the balancing act, staying agile enough to remain current while also ensuring that the guidance we provided was grounded, responsible, and relevant to the field of peace and security of the United Nations. But I would say that it also created an opportunity for all of us, and it kind of forced us into a model of continuous learning and co-creation in a very agile format, which is very much aligned with Secretary General's vision of UN 2.0. Thank you, Emilia, for your question.
Thank you, Avishan. In the meanwhile, we got a question from Bats. And he's asking, how do you think recent development in AI, GenAI landscape changed the overall IT culture in upcoming days? And more importantly, what kind of new opportunities you envision which may appear in upcoming years? So I think we kind of cover, but not fully that. And it's very challenging to be honest in here. Maybe Avishan, you want to cover this one?
Sure, I'll give it a try, but of course, other panelists, please also contribute. I think this is an excellent question. Really appreciate the question. One thing I would say is that GenAI has democratized artificial intelligence. Back in the day, artificial intelligence was for data scientists, for PhDs. It was writing machine learning code was extremely complex. So you needed to bring in PhDs to help you do some natural language processing and beyond. And I feel now AI is very much democratized. So all of us can be, regardless of how tech savvy we are, we can leverage it into our day-to-day work. And I would say the shift for the IT is very much to set the infrastructure, the frameworks in place that empowers and enables citizen development using artificial intelligence tool. And I would say, yes, AI will be replacing jobs. But one thing I always say is that it's not AI that's going to take away your job. It's the people who use AI. So we're going to start seeing a shift towards a type of new roles that didn't exist before. So AI will be creating a whole new set of roles that didn't exist before, and it will create more opportunities in the workforce. Thank you.
Thank you, Avishan. We're getting more questions, and I'm reading at the same time. Hi, GSC colleagues. I really like the roadmap you are following. I think the cultural aspect and taking a deliberate approach is a really good way to learn and iterate. Thank you. One question I have is in relation to the cost. There are different tools, including corporate approved solutions, some part of the standard Microsoft, some paid, and OpenAI solutions. How are you managing that and also to ensure that AI remains AI for all? Thank you, Barbara. Very challenging. And also we have new question, right? Well, regarding this question is very challenging. Not sure if any of the panelists want to answer this question.
Perhaps,
Michel?
Emilia, I can speak to Barbara's question because it is very much. I can see the correlation between her question and the approach that we have taken. First of all, in terms of managing the costs, this is why we've taken a multi-layer or multi-stream approach. The upper stream was really about bringing to everybody's desktop GenAI, leveraging tools that are currently available to all at no additional cost to the organization. And the 75% outreach, or when it comes to awareness, when it comes to introducing AI, the AI tools, was just that. So was reaching out at the same time, within, what is the within existing funding. Now, when it comes to layer 2, this is where we've made a small investment. This is investing in 40 colleagues across all of the pillar of the UNGSC and across all the business units, investing in basically acquiring the Copilot for Office 365 license. But listening to the experience of other organizations, we decided that if we're going to invest, in those licenses, we would like to see a return on our investment. Therefore, this, ought to be an investment, and the colleagues, the pioneer, as we call them, that have been selected, have also agreed to go through a learning program, an upskilling program, and our current contract with Microsoft as free of charge, the possibility of scheduling learning session for the different Office 365 tool. And now we're in the middle of that program. We're at the fourth or fifth session with Microsoft, but really actually we've asked for commitment for these 40 colleagues. And our plan is basically, because this program we've made it time bound. It's a 12-month program. At the end of the 12 months, we want to measure the benefits. We want to say, has that really changed the way colleagues are working? Are they faster, better at what they're doing? Have we brought efficiencies to the table? And then we will see actually what is the next step, at the end of December, this year. So yes, we had to make a what I would call a marginal investment, but it's also in view to realize a return downstream. I hope that answered your question, Barbara. Thank you.
Thank you, Michel. In the meanwhile, also, we're getting more questions. Liam Home asked, I'm interested to your AI4All acceleration program. Unfortunately, I could not find official page for this program. Can you share in the chat? Is this open to graduate students also? Thank you. Paola, maybe you can cover.
Yeah, thank you, Emilia. Yeah, the program was specifically designed for UNGSC staff members, but what we have available is the concept note that is, we can add to the chart for your perusal, and I hope that you can find there ways to understand how we are managing it, and also get a better understanding. And should you have any questions, please refer to us.
Thank you, Paola. Sorry, Michel.
And perhaps to add to Paola's input, the program, the concept node that we've put together, we consider that to be a living concept node. So we've been, refining, tweaking, and tuning the concept node as we've been moving along. And already some of the mission colleagues, have asked actually if they could leverage actually the concept nodes that we've put together. And definitively, as we move forward, this is something that we are willing to share with the community. We are prototyping, we are piloting at the UNGSC, but it was always in view to share, with the broader UN community. Thank you, Emilia.
Thank you, Michel. We got a new question from Reynaldo. And he's asking, well, this is very challenging question and difficult, but I'll short it. Do you anticipate AI will continue to contribute to the wealth imbalance in the world and eventually force leaders to rethink wealth distribution, especially with anticipated employment crisis? And well,
Yeah, maybe just because I responded to this excellent question from Reynaldo. So I just wanted to highlight that we have a Secretary General's Tech Envoy who is working with member states, with corporates, with NGOs and other entities to respond to these questions, to find a way to bridge that digital divide across member states. And I shared a report that you might see in the response. It's called AI for Humanity. That is a type of work that they've done. I will also share a link to their website, so you get to learn more about the work they're doing in terms of bridging that digital divide, because that is serious and that is very true. But thanks for mentioning this.
Thanks, Avishan. And thank you for all the questions we're having at the moment. Great participation also in the chat and question and answers. And well, I think I'll continue with another interview to Paola. I think Avishan is kind of replying many questions. So what's to you, Paola? What has been the most unexpected benefit of participating in the AI4All program?
Yeah, and thank you, Emilia. Yeah, as said, I mean, for us, that really created a sense of community, and I'm pretty sure Jangar and Michel will agree with that, because this was initially was really the intention we had. We really wanted to bring people together and making sure they were working for, and also sharing experiences, ideas, kind of dismantling, the way we are working, divided in offices and services, but going back to the idea of our community, to raise motivation, to make sure people could also try different things without fears, or also express a little bit of creativity and thoughts, ideas, or bringing in their real self, their real personalities, right? And I think this is the way I see this is that it was a great opportunity for us to go back to the human, to through technology, amazingly, right? So technology is making us finding out what we really want, what are we interested in, what are the things that we want to explore the most. And the creation or recreation of a community, I think, is, I would say, the best, one of the best outcomes of this program.
Thank you, Paola. And we have only 5 minutes left. And I like for sure to close the session with a recap with key takeaways from Michel and Jangar. Please, I hand over the floor to you. Thank you.
Michelle, if you allow me, I just wanted to mention a couple of things, and then I'll, of course, we'll save the best for last for you to close out for us.
Thank you,
The
Jangar.
program, the program has been, I think, amazing. We had a lot of skeptical staff members that initially were not sure about where we were going with this. And as Michelle mentioned, this is live. We're still sort of tweaking our vision, the model, and the program, and we hope that it will be sustainable, not just we're one and done at the end of the year, but really this is an opportunity to, as I mentioned before, influence how we work, how we operate, and even just the mindset of continuous learning and pushing the envelope a bit. So for I think some of the key takeaways that we've heard, keep the human in the middle of the program, the building of these, naturally building the communities of practice. Paula had mentioned and coming together as a community, and at the end of the day, just having fun with the program. I think it's been an amazing program. We also look forward to some of the feedback and the input from the staff as well. Thanks, Emilia. Over to you, Michelle.
Thank you, Jangar. And firstly, also thank you, colleagues, for attending this session today. Thank you to my colleagues on the panel. To me, just to really summarize and to take stock, also taking stock of where we are today, my takeaway is that what really strikes me is the enthusiasm that has been not only superb, but has been superb and surprising. I was expecting enthusiasm, but to that level, I was surprised. The momentum, as we announced and introduced the program took life on its own simply because colleagues took interest into the technology and started to see the benefits of leveraging the technology. So I'm very thankful actually to all of those who have really kind of stepped forward and proactively started to be curious. And that's what I would say: be curious, do not fear. Embrace and be curious, and I think this is the program was started as a concept that is still evolving today, that we hopefully will be able to kind of crystallize once this pilot program concludes at the end of the year. But already I can qualify this effort of being beyond successful. So I will stop there. And Emilia, great job today as our maître of the ceremony. Thank you so much. And again, thank you, other panel member. And that's my closing remark. Over to you.
Thank you, Michelle. I'm sharing also our social media if you want to follow us. And on behalf of the entire organization and the team, I want to extend a heartfelt thank you to all of you, especially our speakers, partnership, and especially to you, our participants, for making this event meaningful. Let's keep the conversation going. Let's keep building the future together. Thank you, and see you soon.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.